to agreeing to doing this session. We're absolutely delighted to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Lovely. So,
Same here.
before
Pleasure is mine.
Lovely. Thank you so much for coming on board. This webinar is in collaboration with QFIS. QFIS is a mentorship platform with a community of experts who guide students in their journey. QFIS also hosts a lot of coaching and workshops on different topics to enhance the skills of students. So I'm going to put in their link in the chat section, so anybody interested can definitely reach out. You all can head to their platform and connect with amazing mentors like Abhinav. Lovely. So I think we can start with the webinar.
Definitely.
Abhinav, can you introduce yourself? Tell us your education background, or what are you currently working on, and where are you working?
Yeah, sure. So, good evening, all. Good evening, all the mentees, and good evening, Nicole, and also the founder of QFirst, Siddharth. My name is Abhinav, and I'm from Hyderabad, basically born and brought up in Hyderabad. I've done my education, my schooling, and my plus two year itself. Moving on, then I went on to do my computer science in Chennai SRM University. And from then on, I started pursuing my job after that. So post which I was in places like Bangalore and all, and I worked for MNCs. And yeah, so I was into a different field altogether 5 years back. I had passed out in the year 2015. The last 2.5 years, I got an interest to digital marketing, and I deviated from there and came all the way to digital marketing. Started out as an intern, and right now I'm currently working in MediaMint as a programmatic digital advertising account manager.
Very interesting. I like that you have a shift from studying, I think, engineering from SRM to moving into a domain that you're actually enjoying doing.
Yes. Actually, I
Lovely.
followed my passion, so which never
That's
came into the
lovely.
picture initially, but yeah, a
That's
realization, a
lovely.
sense of realization.
Definitely. I think a lot of us face that issue because when I did engineering from VIT Vellore. So,
Okay.
mentees, if any of you all are, from an engineering background looking to switch, do tell us in the chat section as well. A lot of students, want to make the shift. And since digital marketing is such an upcoming field as well, we're very excited to know your journey, your path into the field as well.
Definitely. You want me to share it now, right now?
No, lovely. So we can start off with telling us. So you said you're working as a programmatic advertising account manager at Media.
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
tell us exactly what are the roles and responsibilities for this particular role?
So basically, in MediaMint, it's been almost 9 months since I've been working, and programmatic. When you say programmatic, it's a way above term when it comes to digital marketing. That's not done in the basis of digital marketing. But what exactly I do is I strategize campaigns for my clients and show the users like they are. So suppose there's a client who's into the hotel industry or who's into the travel industry or anything for that matter. So if there are certain users who are kind of interested in a similar industry, we show them ads at a similar time, at a proper time, at the right place at the right time. So we do all this with the help of third party Google, you could say, accounts, platforms. And accordingly, so my job over there basically is to strategize. So from the client, when it onboards, I do the proposal for that client. They come up with a certain requirement that we want so and so conversions, we want so and so leads at the end of this month or after 3 months and all that, or bookings for that matter. So I develop their proposal. I strategize as to what platform should be done, what kind of audience should be there, and what is the audience reach in numbers. And accordingly, then after once the campaign is onboarded, then I have a team who also strategizes on a daily basis. So basically, programmatic advertising is nothing but you are actually doing real-time advertising. Suppose you come to my website, I can target you back in the next minute itself. So everything is based on real time bidding. So this particular term might not be much it's not much of a common term in digital marketing, but this goes way beyond. Like, this is the trend that's going to happen, and it's already there in the outside markets, in the abroad markets. It's just that India is slowly equipping towards that. So when it comes to my role again, I also handle various accounts for based on these platforms and client end-to-end communication, stuff like that. But yeah, at the end of the day, strategize.
Lovely. And I like that you mentioned, that these kind of roles, programmatic advertising a marketer is not, nobody knows about it until you come into the industry.
Exactly.
And the fact that you mentioned about accounts reminds me a lot of Mad Men also, the show where they handle different clients. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's there. I mean, there are perks and there are also the other side of people. But yes, there is a lot of things you can learn from that.
Definitely. So you also worked at Shoot Order, the digital marketing agency. Were your roles and responsibilities same in this organization as well?
So Shoot Order actually gave me that push. I started out as an intern in Shoot Order, to be honest, 2.5 years back, and like I mentioned, and that gave me a push because to all the mentees out there, especially if you're planning to start out as an intern, trust me, it's always better to start off in an agency because you get the amount of exposure. So the amount of exposure I got was like in 3 months, I could see myself learning so much, and I also got promoted to a client executive and then slowly to a manager. So I almost covered, you could say, because it was an agency. I'm not talking about MNC. Again, you're stuck at one industry, but when in an agency you're exposed to all types of you could say modules of digital marketing. So I was exposed to
Yeah.
that. So my work over there, when before leaving Shoot Order, I was a project manager. My role over there was to strategize end-to-end client needs on various platforms. So when I say platforms, they are on Facebook, Instagram, completely under social, then coming to email marketing, then coming to paid ads that you see on Google, then so like that there are various ads. So the one that I'm working right now, that's again the advanced level of it, like I mentioned. But back there was, what a digital marketing person should actually do. So that was my role back in Shoot Order.
Okay, very nice. So I do want to ask because we have students, from, the engineering background, or some of them are from the BCom or the BBA background, and they want to switch to digital marketing. Do you have a couple of pro tips on, maybe take up an internship, or how did your journey move into digital marketing?
So I was in IBM when I was I told a different field. So I was in the field of Linux. Being a computer science student, definitely I had to fall into a computer science subject itself. So though I hardly knew Linux, I learned and stuff like that. After that, I don't know. I had a team right across my team, right across the other side of the, where I would sit. They would handle Google Ads. So that kind of interested me. And then my manager's wife was also into digital marketing, and I heard few terms. My whole idea was actually to get out of the technical part of it, which was completely wrong again. But that kind of made me research, and I researched on few things, and then there's Google obviously to help you out. And I took that hasty step to leave IBM as a system expert and come to digital marketing and start out fresh again. So that's a huge risk that I took, but did work out in my favor because looking at the current scenario right now, I feel online industry is at the top,
Very
and
true.
coming down is the other businesses. But every business needs online marketing. They are shifting away from traditional. It's not that traditional is still there, but yes, online marketing is given more leverage to these businesses. So yeah.
Definitely, definitely. What are some of the skills that you think are required by a digital marketer?
So when you if you want to start out, okay, like you're starting out as an intern or a fresher for that matter, uh, you can start out as a content writer. Just watch people doing it. But if you really are looking to excel in that field, you need to touch base content marketing. You need to touch base a technical term that I would like to call as search engine optimization. That's SEO, which is again your free the free listings that are there on Google. If you type something apart from an ad, the things that you see, the pages or the titles that you see, they are through SEOs. And SEO is a huge subject again. So SEO is one. Social media marketing is another. That is definitely required for every business because SEO is a free process. That's why it's a time-taking process. But when it comes to social media marketing and PPC, that is pay-per-click paid ads, businesses invest more on that, and the money is actually in that because your results are instant when compared to SEO. So SEO, social media marketing, then you have your pay-per-click, then you have your email marketing, then you have your affiliate marketing. So these are few things, but I would, you know, based on my journey, I would again cut short and say that content marketing, email marketing, social media, and pay-per-click, these four you cover up. Trust me, you can go places with that. Actually, only one field is only enough, just expertise in that. It's better to be a jack of all, master of none. So yeah,
Definitely. I think digital marketing is like the umbrella term, and there are
it
different
is. Yeah.
departments you can actually learn in that. That's very interesting. Coming
Yes.
to the main topic, how to generate good leads for digital marketing.
Okay. So first of all, generating good leads. Now, in the old times and all that, I mean, in the old times, I mean to say in the traditional time and all that, you would have your hoardings, you would have your billboards and your print media, many things that involved, but that would catch attention and also bring in leads. But right now we have to make sure that there is a customer, you could say a customer, we target a customer from an awareness stage till the last stage. So actually, Nicole, I wanted to share
Sure,
my
you can share
screen
your
so that it
screen.
will be, because this is a very broad topic when it comes
Yeah,
to how to generate good leads. There are various leads that I wanted to show, so it will be
definitely you
better
can
for
share
the,
your screen.
yeah. So can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
So yeah, so so this is Netflix. So the reason I opened Netflix is there are various leads. So again, good leads. If you're talking about good leads, one of the leads that that can be recorded is an email tab that is there on a landing page. That is considered as a good lead. But you would be thinking that, why am I directly showing you a Netflix tab? Why can't I just show you different types of leads? Because whoever this person came, he either came from either a word of mouth or through a Facebook ad. But the particular person is still not a lead. He's just a prospect. He's just a, you could say, coming from a cold audience. So this is through awareness. Now, how will you make this person a potential lead? I mean, I'm on Netflix right now. I give my email details. Okay. So so that's it. So that's like the awareness kind of, you could say, lead captured, but there's still more to go. Netflix doesn't give you free trials all the time. It just gives you 30-day free trial. So through that email, they do various kinds of targeting, like email marketing. So that is one way, one part of lead that I want to talk about is this, is the email bar.
Email
And
bar.
obviously the landing page look, which I'll come to the second part of it. So there's one more website that I wanted to show. So this is another website that is Code Academy. Okay, so if you see the landing page, okay, they have an email. They have a place to collect the email password, and accordingly they'll send the details through email. And if you keep going down, you'll see the plus points about what Code Academy is and the different sectors. And again, they have a call to action over here. So in that way, you can, with that single email ID or the information you collect, you can do email marketing with that. And this is one of the most interesting websites I want to show you all, because another reason for getting good leads is your landing page. So this is one of the top digital marketers in India, who's like the top, in one of the top threes. His name is Saurabh Jain. Okay, so his landing page has a name and an email ID, and this is for a digital marketing course for free. So anyone over here who's looking to take a course for free, this guy is really good. So this is again like a pro tip, like you can take this course, actually it's good. So this is the name and the email ID part of it. You can register, but when you go down, you realize that how the landing page is. So my whole point why I'm telling that why you have to concentrate on the landing page is because people need information when they come, and they need to, they need to convert, they have to see details that they want to. Like for example, this is about a course. So this course talks about who is he, and what will be the different sectors that would be learned, like how to run LinkedIn generation ads. So this is basically covering complete digital marketing. And then you go down about this person, again testimonials from different people, again another lead magnet. So this is another lead, a kind of lead that you can generate with the help of testimonials. And then who all can attend. And again, you have a lead magnet over here, which is again email ID. So my whole point here is your landing page has to look really good. Now, the reason why I showed you these three examples is because any user coming from a Facebook ad or Instagram ad or any platform for that matter, even through a normal link that you send through mobile phone, there's a pixel implemented on this particular, what you call that, on a page. So pixel is nothing but a piece of code that tracks your data. So right now, if the person who came to this page and signed up, so this is the tool extension that I use called as Ghost Tree. Okay, so if you see here, these are different third-party tools. If you see, DoubleClick is again a Google product, Bing Ads. Then if you see Google Dynamic Remarketing, LinkedIn Ads. So there are many tools, their pixels are implemented on this. Why am I telling you this? Is because the moment this person fills up his form, I can target them in all these platforms through my ads. DoubleClick. So Google DoubleClick is a platform that I work for right now in MediaMint. Then Google AdWords. So through Google, through this particular, just a small piece of email ID, I can target you through email marketing. Through your, it will come to your emails. I can target you with different ads that show on your website. Even if you don't want to see it, you visited it 2 minutes back, you will still tend to see it when you open any website. Then you have your LinkedIn ads. Because there's a LinkedIn pixel implemented in this, definitely you will see a similar kind of Code Academy ad on LinkedIn. So basically that's it. It's just one thing that will give you the conversion everywhere. So this is again just the awareness phase that I was talking about. The reason why I'm stressing on this is because it's a very important thing, lead, when it comes to lead. So I also wanted to present something over here. So this is a sales funnel. So like you all know, in traditional part of it also, there's the same phase is followed. Like it starts from awareness, interest, consideration, intent. So the students sitting out there, most of you all might know these terms, but in digital marketing, whether it means the same or not. So definitely it means the same, just that the platform is different and the way you're portraying it is different, because you don't have one ad, you show multiple ads, because you need to understand the user. Based on your user persona, you have to understand the user behavior. So you test it out with different ads. So if you want, you can actually run a direct lead generation ad, but the conversion chances are only 2%, which is why I wanted to further elaborate on how an awareness ad looks. So this is an awareness ad. So what I showed you was a sales funnel. This is an awareness ad. When you have to start with, you want to generate a lead. So you always remember, start from the initial part of a user journey. So this is an ad from Slack. So it just tells the users that it's not a random ad. It just pops up. It might be a news feed or somewhere that, this is an ad. It tells the users that you exist in the market. Even you're from MailChimp. This is like an awareness ad. It doesn't tell anything about the product. It just gives a scenario. And here, this is a consideration phase where you already covered the awareness and the interest phase. You are interested, but you still didn't take the action. That is when you come up with a problem statement. Like the Oreo, they had an ad promoted on Twitter. So power out, no problem. So this was another way of, promoting that ad and telling them that, you can still come under that lead generation phase. So this is just to get them that interest and consider your brand. The same way with Shopify, they gave a problem statement that what's stopping you? We are still there. So these are targeted to people who would have gone to Shopify or would have gone to some website and not, might be an add to cart or registration page, but they didn't, register. So this is the ad particularly, if you have to see such kind of ads. And at the end comes your lead ad. So this is what I actually want to stress on. All these ads that you're seeing are different, all right, but the intent has to be different. For awareness, it has to be awareness, because you cannot directly jump into lead. So if you really are expecting a good lead, you need to follow this funnel, and at the end you need to give out offers like, you have this particular spray, get 40% off, money back guarantee, or something like this. Of Mobile Monkey built a chatbot in 5 minutes, no coding, for free. So basically this thing, so the last part talks about the product and its offer, if it has any offers. Like I told, email is one way of lead, to get a good lead. A landing page that really has everything will give you a good lead. Facebook and Instagram ads that you follow will give you a good lead. Another way to get a lead is through ebooks. If you would have gone through any website, you would have scrolled down, suddenly you would have seen a pop-up coming out like this. So these pop-ups are nothing but your ebooks. Like you're telling, do you want to learn WordPress? Get free WordPress video plugins and other useful resources. Just enter your email ID and everything, all the details of this ebook or whatever it is, the plugins and whatever details, go to your email ID. After that, they keep on targeting you with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Twitter ads, LinkedIn ads, wherever you are, they keep on targeting you, because their end goal is making you their potential lead. Now coming to traditional and the online market right now, where we stand, where does digital marketing stand in 2020, especially in India? So the then platform still exists, but the now platform is right now, and people are actually seeing the change. What all used to be in TV, newspapers, stuff, and print medias, it's now on Google, Bing. So you can just see your audience just increasing. So there you had a wide scope of audience, but here you have a detailed set of audience. These platforms help you to target people in detail based on their age, based on their interest, based on their demographics, where they stay, when they stayed, and stuff like that. So yeah, so at the end, I'm just stopping the screen. Yeah, so at the end, I would like to say, for the question that you gave, it's a very huge topic. I try to make it as short as possible. So lead magnets and having an exit pop-up form when anyone comes to a website. If they by chance leave a website, suddenly a pop-up comes up asking for details. That's another way of getting good leads. The example that I just showed you, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter ads, going way the right funnel. That's another example of, getting really good leads. Then through email marketing, if you are even a Swiggy member or a Zomato member or something of that sort, you still keep on getting emails. They come up with offers, they come up with coupons. That's another way to ensure that your existing users also are your full-time users and they're your loyal users. So, and ebooks. So there are many ways, but these are the most efficient ways.
Lovely. I like that you broke it down. It was very simple to understand and very relatable as well, because we all see ads and we do not know, how are we getting these ads. Very relatable. So you said that you work with a couple of different campaigns for the organization that you're currently working with. Can you tell us about any such campaign that you really enjoyed working with, a little about that, and how did you come up with the campaign?
So actually, I would like to talk about a campaign that I enjoyed in my previous company, Shoot Order. This over here, like I told you, I just work on few Google platforms, but over there I could touch base on all these different angles that I just showed you. So there was one of these automobile big clients. I won't name the client, but so it just released, like their cars just released last year in the month of June and July. So just the way I showed you, they just wanted, they were already a well associated or automobile company in the market, but we had to ensure that through online market they get sales. So they invested almost 1 lakh with us, okay, telling them that we'll give you the complete digital marketing service. Now when it comes to digital marketing service, we told them that we will give you email marketing, we will give you SEO as in if you type anything, you will find these different listings, right, where you can call and go for directions. So that kind of SEO. Then we'll run Google ads for you. Then we'll run social media marketing, all this within 1 lakh. So why I like that project was because we had to make the landing page from scratch. When I say landing page, is not the website. A landing page is just a single page. That single page should be the page that gives you all these leads. So that is why I told you that landing page is really important. So there we had the emails, like I just showed you, 2 different places where we had the email and the call to action. And that landing page we marketed through all these platforms. So because of doing it as a combined effort, I had the team obviously to support me and all that. We could generate almost 48 bookings, and the car's cost was about 16 to 19 lakhs. I mean, the basic was 11, but on road was about 14, 15. So you could say 14 lakhs. Breaking it down to 3 months, we spent 3 lakhs on digital marketing, and with the help of all these online mediums, they got about 800 calls. Could say 100 people going to their that too through SEO. 800 calls, 100 people going to their more than 100 people going to their showrooms that they have in Hyderabad, and through social media and through the form fill-ups and all that. They separately on WhatsApp also they got more than 1,000 plus calls. Totally we generated about 48 bookings, out of which 8 people converted full on. So you can just imagine the ROI. When I say ROI, it's return of interest. So I invested 1 lakh into 3 months, 3 lakhs, and I almost got a revenue of 16 into 10, almost 2 crore, 1.6 to 1.7 crore. So yes, so that campaign was really fun because they wanted generate. I mean, they were that time, it was very famous in the market. The traditional side, the TV advertisements were going on full swing. So they wanted the same thing to happen with online as well. So the fun point of it was we went all out, and really that garnered results.
Yeah, I can totally imagine also, putting out a campaign, ideating with the team and seeing results. And I think digital marketing does take time. Yeah, it sounds amazing. And I can't imagine, working with the team and hustling towards, finding that, the ROI is working out as well. Like, people are coming on board, the clicks and all, the happiness that you'll get as well. That's very interesting.
Yeah. The loyalty is what matters at the end of the day. So they're still, I guess, there. So that is what is important at the end of the day.
That's lovely. So, what are the tools and softwares that are required to be used by a digital marketer?
So if you're starting out, or even if you're an experienced person, the basic tools that, or I would say the tools that you have to use all your life until you're a digital marketer, even a digital head or a digital executive, are tools like Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is nothing but any kind of online effort that you're putting, might, even if it's SEO or any paid media, through Google Analytics. That's the pixel that I just showed you. Through Google Analytics pixel, or through Google Analytics tool, actually, you get all the data that how exactly from these social media platforms, who all are coming, who all have been there for particular time. It gives you that vast knowledge in terms of analytics. Then you have Google Ads. So Google Ads is something, why I'm stressing on that is because nowadays all the MNCs and people, I told, they want their business to get revenue faster, so they invest on ads more than SEO. So Google Ads is one such platform, because also you can do various kind of ads like shopping ads. You type something on Google, you see these small boxes, they are shopping ads. Then you see an ad kind of thing that anyone types, the first thing that comes, that is also from Google Ads. Then on your website, anywhere you go, you see above the website, you see an image which is a skyscraper, or mobile optimized image and all that. That is through display ads of Google. That is there. Then you have your social media marketing. The social media marketing will anytime stay evergreen, because even if you're not planning to invest money in anything, social media will let you start that push. It gives you that push. So there's also the free way of getting that also. But again, like I mentioned, ads is important everywhere. So social media marketing with the help of ads. Again, PPC is, again, when it comes to PPC, it's Google Ads. Email marketing, again, in email marketing, there are tools like MailChimp. There are tools like MailChimp or Zoho Mail. And social media marketing, there's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that all of us know, but we have to know a tool called as Facebook Business Manager, because over there at the back end is where you run all your campaigns. And you have after that, you have this one, what do you call that? Yeah, you have Buffer. There's Buffer, there is Hootsuite. Buffer again is a platform that you can get all the latest information in terms of content. Hootsuite is where you can manage all your you can manage all your campaigns, or you could say you can post on 4 different platforms at one shot, and their analytics are very important. Then you have HubSpot. So like that, there are various tools like the ones that I'm telling right now. And obviously Microsoft Excel is one, very important, though it's not a part of it. But because of the data that comes out, okay, we need a tool that gives the right accurate data. So Pivot, so there is Tableau for that matter, yes, but Microsoft Excel really plays a really crucial role. So yeah.
Lovely. So is it important to also understand analytics being a digital marketer?
Yes, definitely, because analytics. So when you go to traditional marketing, you don't have that idea, right? But when you are into digital marketing, you get that analytics. You actually have all those analysis. Now, if you want that money to be invested in the right way, you definitely have to target the right people. If I'm showing you a watch ad, but you want to see something like a shopping ad, an apparel ad or something like that, that's completely a waste. So based on those analysis, we target the users.
Very interesting. So, like you had mentioned, I think when you moved away from IBM and you joined Shoot Order, that was your first internship where you got that kind of exposure. So, a lot of students
your voice broke in the middle.
Yeah. Sorry, can you hear me?
Your voice broke, Nicole. Actually, I
Okay,
couldn't
I'm
hear
so
you.
sorry. I think there's a little bit of network connectivity. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Lovely. So as you mentioned, you did your first internship in digital marketing with Shoot Order. So a lot of our students also have the same questions related to, what organizations look for digital marketing internships and how can they, apply to these organizations?
So right now, if you're looking at the current market right now, because 2 years back, when you are in a market that's already established, like I'm in Hyderabad, so Hyderabad was a market that's already established. And if the mentees right here are in different parts of India, there are few places that already the market has been established. So if you're planning to go in such a market, it's always better to start out fresh, approach agencies, and only agencies or mid-level companies. The reason I'm saying that is I got an offer in Accenture for a digital marketing executive itself on ads. I had no clue. I just would go through random courses, or I didn't know the practicality. The problem going to MNCs is you're stuck in that one quadrant itself. If I'm hired for Facebook ads, I'm only doing Facebook ads. What happened to Google Analytics? What happened to Google Ads? What happened to email marketing? What happened to CRMs? Nothing. You don't get to learn that when you're an MNC, but when you're an agency or a mid-level company, you have a team that you have to work with a team, or you are a part of the team. You get that exposure. So I would say that, in order to, LinkedIn is the best platform, I would still say right now. If you're looking out for jobs, more than I've seen I've seen people getting jobs through LinkedIn. If your profile is really that good, you have Naukri, you have Internshala, you have your Indeed jobs and all that, that is also there. But I would also like all of you all to start with LinkedIn, because right now the demand is so much that it won't come back again. I think after once the pandemic is over, that is when they are going to hire digital marketing executives or interns or seniors like crazy. Even now also it's happening. So
Yeah.
do not miss this chance. I would say stay active on LinkedIn. And yeah,
Definitely, I think LinkedIn is a very upcoming
yes.
platform, and everybody seems to be on LinkedIn. So, mentees, we would also suggest you work on your LinkedIn profiles and build it up, because having a good LinkedIn profile also matters. Do you know a couple of agencies, ad agencies that recruit for digital marketing positions? Any names of any organizations?
There are many actually. Like it depends on the place again. It depends on the place. So if you see these, so if you want to know how to get through these agencies, I like I told you, stay active on LinkedIn. Just filter out digital marketing with the particular thing and just apply. You will get these various job opportunities.
Right.
Agencies are actually hiring right now. I would say not one, but every agency is hiring right now. So
Yeah.
naming, I could say Mumbai there is Performix, and Hyderabad there is Shoot Order, and there are White Rabbit, Gen Y Medium. There are many companies, including mine also, that is still hiring, because right now people are understanding the need, and the
Yeah, and
demand is more.
I feel like people are
So
moving from
actually everywhere it's
because of the
hiring. Any
whole
digital marketing agency you go.
Yeah, and I feel like moving from the whole pandemic,
Yeah.
everyone has moved to digital marketing. So I don't think it's a dying industry at
Yes.
all. Lovely. So coming to the
Yes. Yes.
part of
Until internet is there, I think it's still there.
yeah.
Sorry, I missed
So
that. I'm
coming to
sorry.
the part of recruiters. So recruiters always look at the resumes when students apply for any digital marketing internships. So what according to you is important to have on a resume? Is it projects, internships, and how can students work on building their resumes?
So I would say that, if you're going through, like I said, an agency or mid-level, and you have a resume, just have a project, like, because you didn't do any internships. Yeah, colleges right now are, in my time there were no internships in the fourth year, very rarely. Now I guess even third year and second year students are also having internships. So if you're a plan to go into this field, I would definitely say that use internship as your wild card. Projects are also there. Projects are helpful, all right, but you need that experience. Practical exposure is way better than theoretical, and that practical exposure you need to get through as an intern, and put that intern experience, I would say, on the resume. And meanwhile, side by side, you can also learn free courses that, Google platforms. There are many platforms that give Udemy and stuff like that. So learn their courses, try getting certifications, because as an intern, if you have a vague idea, I'm just saying a vague, or not even a basic knowledge, vague idea about what these terms are, doing it practically and all won't be a problem. Just remember the terms. So I would say internship and doing certifications from any free medium would help building your resume.
Okay, all right. So somebody's also asking, is digital marketing effective or traditional marketing in your opinion?
In my opinion, at this point, traditional marketing is never dead. Actually, it's still there. It still exists. But at this point, the number of conversion rates I'm seeing for a digital marketing business that I'm working with, and I'm getting projects, as well as I'm hearing clients getting more business from online with half of the budget that they spent on traditional. So at this point of time, and the point moving forward, I think people will divert to digital, but traditional will still be there. Word of mouth still exists. All that will still exist. But right now, at this point, online is the best.
Definitely. And I think we're already so used to getting data from digital marketing that
Yes.
it's so hard going back.
Either you get
Lovely. So
irritated, or either you get you like it.
exactly. Mentees, if you'll have any questions, you all can post it in the Q&A section. We will be looking at questions now. So I'm not able to understand Jyoti Lakshmi's question, but I think what she means is MBA important for to move into digital marketing?
No, definitely not. I was about to make that mistake. I went before leaving IBM. I was in two minds: whether to join, whether to do MBA, and whether to whether to do digital marketing, because like I told, digital marketing was my passion, but I didn't know where to start. And MBA, I thought that, to be a marketing person, because digital marketing had a term like marketing tag
Yeah.
to it, I thought that requires MBA. I did my groundwork. I still felt I had to do it, but I didn't do MBA. And trust me, you can also become a manager without an MBA degree. It all depends on your skill and your passion. So I didn't do an MBA, and it's not required definitely, because MBA also doesn't have a subject like digital. They have a subject. Right now, they have a very small subject on digital marketing, whereas the marketing is very huge. Right now,
Yeah.
I think they'll expand that scope. So I think, I mean, most of the cases, 90% of the digital marketeers are either, you could say, engineering students, or they're 12 pass outs also, because even a 12 pass out can do digital marketing basically. So it's not required that you need an MBA degree.
That's great. That's great. So a lot of our students, when they pass out from an engineering or a BCom background and they want to move into the sector of marketing, apart from digital marketing, what are the roles in different organizations that are there that they can move into?
Sorry, come again. I missed out that question again. Can you please
So
repeat? I'm
a
sorry.
lot of our students, when they apply for opportunities in the industry, they're not very sure what roles are there in the marketing domain. So what roles and responsibilities or designations are open in the field that they can move into?
Okay, so you're talking about digital marketing itself, right? Or marketing as
In
a whole?
digital marketing or marketing in general?
Okay, so if you want to start out again, digital marketing executive, again, it depends on your mindset. You can also get through as a digital marketing executive or a digital marketing analyst, but without that practical knowledge, it's impossible. And obviously, when you start out as a digital marketing executive, it's your choice and the company's choice based on your hard work. You can switch into anything. Suppose I started out as an intern. Okay, I could have been a social media person who could hand social media manager, or I could be a Google Ads manager or something like an expert. But I had that opportunity because I was handling clients before that. I had to do project. So I was given that opportunity of being a project manager and handling various clients, because of which I could touch base on all the technologies and didn't lose touch again. So based on that company, you get various opportunities. Like based on your experience, you start out as an executive. There are various positions over there depending on the company. They say 3 months or 6 months they will move you. I mean, you either get an opportunity to work as a content writer. That's all up to you. But these kind of moves only happen in agencies and mid-level companies, because MNCs, once you're there. It takes a long time. It has to go through a lot of process that has to get evaluated and all if you have to move out. So yes.
Okay. So I can see Pooja and Rakshita are also asking, is a 1 month internship for digital marketing enough for your resume?
A 1 month internship, yes, but most of the companies they take 3 months. But 1 month does work out. But anytime if you have 3 months, because wherever we heard about internships, it's about 3 months. 1 month could be something like, based on this situation, I think 1 month can be fine, but it's always better to go for 3 months.
3 months. Okay. And I think they get more exposure in the
It's
field
more
as well.
exposure because it's about knowing the practicality of it.
Very true. So Ocean is also asking, where can we get advanced level of digital marketing course at a minimum price?
So there are courses. I mean, there are places. So like Udemy is there. So Udemy you get from advanced to basic. So I started out from basic with a Google course called as Digital Garage. That gave me a very basic idea. Then I moved to Udemy. I tell people that go to Udemy. You find various options over there, and there is really like you also get the advanced level. If you want to pick few, like one module, because digital marketing as a whole, trust me, it takes years for me. Even I've not mastered every field. Either you master one field, or you either just learn basics of everything, but it's better you master a field. So there is Udemy, then there's Digital Garage, and there's something called as DigiGrad. So that's really good if you want to learn advanced digital marketing. And this is one course that I just showed you, Saurabh Jain. He's really good because he's one of the topmost. So it's obviously better to learn from the topmost, his techniques and all that. Then there is WordStream. Then there is Upgrad. So Upgrad again is on the costly side, but if you want free, there is again I told you WordStream and Growth Automated. So these particular, you know, they can give you courses. And if you want to go on the free side of it, there are many. Like even nowadays, courses are being sold for 10 rupees. Also, don't go for that. But there are few others. If you want to stick on, because a course just gets over. If you want to stick on with the thing that you're learning, any module that you're learning, yes, Coursera is also good. I've not done Coursera, but Coursera is also good. So always refer to blogs, because anywhere you go, blogs are the ones that actually help you. Practical, I mean, the practical nature of it also helps you. But if you want to be updated with the market, blogs really are helpful.
Okay. So Suraj is also asking, is there any specific place or institute in India that has digital marketing courses that you know about?
I did a digital marketing course from one of the digital marketing institutes in Hyderabad, which is called as Adona Institute. There are many actually, but right now, to be honest, after all that, I wouldn't suggest you to go for a digital marketing course, because the practical, again, I'm stressing on the word practical, is because the theoretical knowledge is 60-70%, of the practical exposure you get is 30. They will tell you that they'll make you make a website. They'll tell you that, I'm not talking about one inch, I'm talking about all the institutes that tell this. Make a website, we'll make you run ads, but that is at a very minimal level. So I would just say that, don't go for online courses, or you could say offline courses. Just go through these, what you call that, the basic ones, like to get a basic idea, and then jump into a company and start the practical way.
Okay. So somebody's also asking, can you elaborate on content marketing? And I'm also going to combine it with another question. How do you use content writing or copywriting as a digital marketing tool, and which platforms seem promising?
So content marketing can be used in many ways. Okay, content marketing can be used for your videos. Content marketing can be used for your social media posts. Content marketing can be used for your blogs. They can be used for your ebooks. They can be used for your email. And so anything in digital marketing needs content. That's why they call in SEO, content is king. That's a very normal term that you'll hear once you'll enter the proper digital marketing phase, that content is king.
Yeah.
So that is about content marketing. Copywriting again. So copywriting, when it comes to social media, so copywriter's job is to ensure that the content that they're writing is precise. So content writer again would just formulate the content and give you, but the copywriter's job is to make it as catchy as possible. So copywriter's work is more like in a landing page that I just showed you. That's a copywriter's work. A social media post, if you have to make sure that a post is engaging, that's also a copywriter's work. So like that, there are various tools. I mean, sorry, that's a difference. And in terms of tools for content marketing and all that, if you want to get ideas, BuzzFeed is a really good tool where you get social media ideas, or you get ads that ads, I'm sorry, social media posts or Twitter posts that go viral. Based on that, you can make your particular what you call content and all that. And tools again, you can use for your content, like Grammarly, there's Paper So there are many tools like that if you want to formulate with content. I would say it's always better to be original. So just write content, and then you can check on tools.
Definitely. So Fatma is also saying, and I know this question comes up for a lot of digital marketers. Is it better to take freelance work or an internship or a job for a digital marketer?
You mean at the starting phase?
Yeah.
Start off as an intern or a full-time job. If you get a full-time job, nothing like it, very good. Otherwise, start off as an intern, because if you take up freelancing, see, content again, things like content, if you're good at content, yes, you can do it, but you should also understand the industry, what kind of content they need. And if you're stuck there, freelancing is a big, it would be a big help for you. So get that exposure again in terms of if you are either an intern or working as a full-time. Like I'm right now, I get freelancing offers and all. I didn't take it up at the initial stage because I was skeptical about how it would turn out and all that, because it's someone else's money, and if I'm not confident, it's pointless. So start off with either a full job or an intern. That would work out, and then later jump to
Okay.
freelancing.
Okay. So Saitej is also saying, how can we go through the Google Pay ads, and how can we start up?
How can?
How can we go through the Google Pay ads?
Okay. How can we go through the Google
I'm
Pay?
not sure. So Saitej,
How
if
to
you can just
avoid it?
elaborate, yeah, on your question, we'll come back to that. So
Okay.
Prachi and Shalu have asked me very similar questions. So I'll just break it down into two parts. They're both interested in the field of digital marketing. One of them is still doing a BCom degree. So she wants to know, should she directly look for work experience internships or MBA, or what else? Because I think a lot of mentees have these kind of questions. When they're in college, what do they look for next? Work experience, internship, or MBA?
So, like I said, if you are completely diverting or moving into this field, start with internships. You're planning to go abroad. You're planning to do a GRE, which I don't think many people would do right now. Want to do right now, but if you want to do your MBA and all that, yes, there are part-time jobs that are there that are available. If you're confident enough to take that up, you can do, or you can even do as an intern. So, intern and part-time jobs are not much different. I mean, it depends again on the company if they ask you to come, but there are interns also who work just for 3 to 4 hours a day. So it depends on what you exactly want, whether you want to pursue as an MBA, if you want to pursue your MBA or you want to stretch into this field. That is completely your choice. But yeah, this is how it has to be.
Okay. So you'd also mentioned about content writing. There's a question related to what are opportunities in content writing and how to grab them. So I think what kind of organizations look for content writing, and is it just content writing as the title that is there?
So again, content writing can be a social media content writer is one. Then you have your basic copywriters again. So there are these ad copies that you write on Google. So there are MNCs that even hire you for that. But the problem there is you don't get to learn much, and it's not much of a content part that you can explore much.
Yeah.
So agencies and mid-level companies just hire you as content marketers or creative content writers. So when you get the tag like creative content writer, that means you have tapped onto every field in digital marketing in terms of content. If you have that tag, so if wherever you get that designation, I would say it's better that you go there because you can tap onto almost everything.
Okay, lovely. So I think those are most of the questions that we had. Thank you so much, Abhinav. It was very informative session because you screen shared, showed us a lot of ads, showed us, how people are targeted, as well as giving us a lot of information for students who want to move into that field. So thank you so much, Abhinav. Do you have a couple of last advice for the mentees before we wrap up the session?
Yeah. Thank you so much again, Nicole. Yes. So to all the mentees over there, this is the time. Take action because until the online market is there, you survive in the market. So that would stay on for the next 25 years. Remember, if you're planning to pursue this career, this would go on till the internet is alive. So yeah. So if you're interested, do go for this, and you have everything online. So yes.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Abhinav. It's very informative. A huge shout out to the QFIS team as well. I've dropped in their link if you all want to connect to amazing mentors like Abhinav. Thank you very much, Abhinav. We wish you all the very best, and hopefully you'll come back for a lot of more informative sessions for our mentees.
Sure. Definitely, Nicole. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Abhinav. Take care.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you.